They say the last keeper vanished without a trace, but what he left behind still watches from the dark. The old lighthouse stood like a sentinel against the crashing waves, its silhouette etched sharply against the twilight sky. For decades, it guided ships away from jagged rocks and hidden shoals. But now, its light had been extinguished, replaced by automated beams and distant towers. No one had set foot inside for years until I arrived, drawn by a strange sense of unfinished business. The sea air was thick with salt, and a clammy wind that howled through the cracked windows, carrying the cries of seagulls and something else, something softer, almost human. My boots echoed hollowly on worn wooden floors as I stepped inside. The smell struck me immediately, a pungent mix of old smoke, damp stone, and something coppery, like blood long dried. A narrow spiral staircase curled upward, its iron railing cold and slick beneath my fingertips. I ascended slowly, the beam of my flashlight trembling as it caught dust motes dancing lazily in the stale air. The silence was suffocating, pressing in from all sides. Far below, the crash of waves was muffled but constant, like the heartbeat of a restless giant. At the lighthouse's top, the lantern room was a cage of rusted metal and broken glass. The great lens lay shattered on the floor, shards glittering like frozen rain. I noticed a small object tucked beneath a twisted girder, a leather-bound notebook, thick with age. Fingers numb, I pried it loose, sensing the fragile weight of a lifetime trapped within its pages. The keeper's handwriting was shaky but deliberate, scrawling a tale that grew darker as I read. He spoke of strange noises echoing through the walls at night, of shadows that moved just beyond the candlelight. His entries became frantic. Someone or something was watching, waiting. He hinted at voices calling from beneath the lighthouse, murmurs in a forgotten tongue. One entry detailed a hidden door beneath the floorboards of the lantern room. Heart pounding, I traced my flashlight beam to a loose plank etched with scratches, almost like tally marks, counting endless days. The handle was cold iron, resistant beneath my hand. With effort, the door creaked open, revealing a narrow staircase plummeting into darkness. Every instinct screamed for me to turn back, but curiosity clawed too deeply. I descended into the abyss, the air growing colder with each step, carrying a damp earthiness laced with decay. The beam flickered, revealing walls lined with old sea charts, rusted tools, and stacked crates sealed tight. A faint, persistent drip echoed in this underground chamber. I found a crude altar built of jagged stones, stained dark, as if soaked with something far older than rust or water. Carved into the wall behind it was a symbol I didn't recognize, twisting lines spiraling inward, like 1,000 reaching fingers. It felt alive, pulsating silently in the gloom. A chilling breeze brushed my neck, but no door or window was open. Whispered voices emerged just beyond understanding, indecipherable yet laden with warning. The air thickened, pressing close, like a breath I couldn't escape. I realized the keeper hadn't vanished by chance. He had tried to keep something locked away. Suddenly, a distant clatter reverberated up the stairs. The lighthouse groaned as if waking from a long nightmare. I scrambled upward, but the staircase now seemed endless, stretching into shadows too thick for light to pierce. Unseen hands grazed my skin, cold and persistent, urging me forward and back at the same time. At the lantern room, the shattered glass now glittered red in the fading light. The notebook fluttered open on the floor, as if caught in a silent wind, landing on a final note. Beware the watcher beneath. It keeps its own time. It waits with hungry eyes that never blink. Outside, the fog rolled in thick and suffocating, swallowing the lighthouse's twisted silhouette. Behind me, a faint light flickered low in the chamber below, an unearthly flame that pulsed like a heartbeat, slow and endless. And just before I fled into the night, a pair of eyes, black and glassy, stared up at me from the darkness, unblinking. If you saw those eyes in the dark, would you stay or run?